And we joined together and created this policy. We went to him and said, we want this policy. He read the policy. He went to Chief Minister J.H. Patel because I think they're going to the US. And the Chief Minister told him, if you understand what this is, go ahead. And he announced the policy. And thus started BangalorIT.com. And we told him, look, as a minister, go on stage and say, we're going to have 5,000 crores of exports by 2020. He said, how much are you doing now in 97? 2,000 crores. He said, are you going to reach 5,000 crores? He said, yeah, let's try. We reached 5,000 crores. And then, those were the days when things were very small. This year, now as we celebrate 25 years, you can see the magic that has happened. This year, Bangalore will export $75–80 billion of services. Bangalore has 30,000 IT companies. Where the source of data? Look at the tax filing. The income tax gives data about the number of companies filing income and showing software as income, products and services. 15,000 startups, 50 plus unicorns, 2.1 million people employed in Bangalore. Bangalore has more human capital than Silicon Valley, than any city in the world. 300,000 chip designers, 270 plus chip design testing companies in Bangalore. From 2014 till now, India got $112 billion of capital into venture and startups, out of which $60 billion came to Bangalore. Last year, 2021, we got $16 billion. This year, in 9 months, we already got $12 billion. And the problem is, Bangaloreans themselves don't understand how big this is. And the airport in Bangalore is the third largest in India. They'll have a capacity of 70 million passengers for a population of about 11 million. And if for 11 million, we have, 10 million vehicles. Ramana Reddy has to build some roads because Ramana Reddy, ACS, has been secretary for IT, I think 3 or 4 times. And he's been part of that excitement. And you've got to be around a long time, Ramana. We want to see more of you. So this is the place where the action is in the world. And this time we celebrate 25 years. Now as we celebrate 25 years, what do we see around the world? 250 years ago, a very unique thing happened which changed the world. Till then, India, China were the largest economies in the world, the richest. We made up 45% of world GDP. We were large exporters because we had people, skilled people, and animal power. There was no motive power. Then Great Britain invented the steam engine and the world changed. The Industrial Revolution started. Capital flowed to Europe. Europe became the dominant part of the global GDP. They built the great global supply chain to connect consumers to producers around the world, and the global market came. And that led to the rise of the middle class, the working class. That's led to the rise of the merchants who created capital, and the world feudal order was destroyed. Because since the dawn of human civilization, the world was ruled by kings and emperors. It led to the first great war, 1914 to 1919. And in 1919, all the great empires disappeared. Austro-Hungary, 600 years. The Tsarist Empire in 1917, 600 years. The Ottoman Empire, 600 years. The Chinese Empire, 2,500 years. The German Empire, maybe 100 years. They all disappeared. And the unfinished agenda of the First World War led to the Second World War, and that changed the entire world. So the age of the machine led to all this and saw the new world. I'm talking all this to make you understand why we are living in an era of unprecedented change. Now, 20 years ago, a unique thing happened which is changing the world in a manner we need to understand, and that is the rise of the internet. For the first time since humans started talking and communicating, we have a platform where all of us can interact with each other synchronously, asynchronously, 24/7. The barriers for people to meet is gone. That's the internet. 8 billion people on the planet, that's what the UN says on 15th of November. I don't know whether it's 8, but UN says that. Out of which 6 billion people have a mobile connection. 5.5 billion people on the internet, and they're all talking to each other. They're communicating, they're doing business. So you can do business, you can get health, you can get entertainment, You can do almost everything virtually. You can talk to each other. When the world shut down for COVID, everybody went online, at least 60-70% of population, seamlessly. Can you believe that? In India, 60% of the population went online. But the world has changed. Now with a mobile phone, a smartphone, and a cheap data plan, you are the master of the universe. And every time one individual joins his network, you meet 5.5 billion people. What is the impact? What is the impact on the world? The impact in the world is we're going to see new models of business. We're going to see new models of governance. You cannot shut out this internet. China built a wall to keep people out and keep people in. But people know how to get by. News travels, new narratives come, new groups are being formed. A global community is being formed. And that's the place. And that's going to accelerate. Very soon we are going to be in the metaverse. All of us here, most people, excluding some young people, we are part of the analog generation. Analog because we lived in the analog world. Now we are in the digital world. And if you want to know what the metaverse is, talk to a 13 to 15-year-old young person, boy or girl. See how they interact with the world. Everything is through an app. They play games on the metaverse. They have an avatar in the metaverse. They buy property there. They do everything else. They have their own currency. The world is very different. They go in and out of the metaverse seamlessly. And that is what the world is going to be in the next 5-6 years. And technology has made that. And this change is happening in a very big way. As you stay here, there are 5 big global trends that are changing the world. The first is an aging society. The United Nations told us many years ago, the world will have 11 billion people by 2100. Now they say we'll have maybe 10.5, maybe 10. And if you look around the world, China's population is going to shrink this year or the next year, 1.45 billion people. China only produced 12 billion babies last year. Fertility is 1.3. India's fertility is 2. We produce 2.5 million, 25 million babies every year for the last 30 years. Maybe next year it's going to come down. We are aging. Karnataka's fertility is 1.7. By 2032, the number of people dying in Karnataka could be more than the number of people being born. So the whole of South India is 1.7. The Jain community's fertility is 1.2. In 100 years, they may not be there if they don't have enough babies. This population aging is changing the world because by 2050, maybe 15-20% of people will be above 60. Right now, there are 130 million people above 60. In India, it will be 200 or 250 million by 2030. So the world is aging. So we are not going to have population increasing seamlessly. We are living longer. Average age in the world is 72. Japan, women live up to 88. Men live up to 85. So the population that is there is very different in the next few years. Working age population is coming down. The second important thing is happening is technology. Technology is becoming the horizontal to connect people all around the world. And when you see technology with a huge amount of computing power whose cost has come down, we're going to do many things which you could not do. The human brain, I'm told, has 82 billion neurons. When I stand here, I see you, that image comes to my brain, it goes at the back of my brain, it is stored in my hard disk. I compare the image with my accumulated memory, I understand who you are, but I do it instantaneously. Now machines are going to be able to do that because of computing power. That is what you train machine to machine learning, right? And you have these neurons connecting through weak electrical impulses all around the brain. And that's how we are going to create humanoids. We are going to create robots. In maybe 10 years, robots will be able to do 60% of what humans can do. Today, robots can run, they can do a backflip and land on the ground, they can draw a cart, they can pick up. Foxconn had 1.2 million young girls working in China assembling Apple phones. I'm told they went to Foxconn and said, we want a salary raise. Foxconn said, what is a salary raise? You know, the HR departments ask you for salary raises, right? I mean, many of you know that. Then immediately they started replacing 50,000 girls with robots. Because the robots can have dexterity in the fingertips. They didn't have dexterity. The dexterity to move your fingers. They have the dexterity. They can assemble iPhones. They can do everything else. Adidas set up a factory where you can make shoes automatically by robotics, by computer vision. How does it happen? It's happening because advances in technology. So we're going to have humanoids come in. Technology is going to come. Quantum computing is going to increase the speed by 5x. We're going to have 5G, 6G, 7G. And then we're going to have 3D printing, where 30% of manufacturing is going to be done by 3D printing, additive manufacturing, not reductive manufacturing. And AI is going to drive all this. You got Subhashish and the art park here. AI is going to drive it because AI can process huge amount of data, and we have a huge amount of data. And that data, along with high-speed computing, lower cost, huge cloud memory, is going to give you unprecedented power. And that is the change that's happening in technology. In biotechnology, hopefully people are living longer, because the most important asset you have is a human life. And you know, everybody has to disappear one day, right? And you can go to Queen's statue and see the statue of Queen Victoria. She's the most powerful queen in human history. What happened? Gone. Because we live 70, 80 years. Now, people tell us at the age of 30, something happens in your DNA and your body cells stop generating the same number of cells, and the body cells start diminishing, and that is aging. That's why when you saw Sachin Tendulkar cost 30, he could not play the same strokes. You know, Dravid went to Australia, got bowled 4 times, but in bat and ball. Because when you see the ball coming at you at 140 kilometers, your eye, your hand and leg has to coordinate. But you know, a little bit, 1 nanosecond, you're gone and you're bowled. And that's why we said, I'm going to retire. We saw Kapil Dev, you know, come running fast. He thought he's fast, but he's slow, and he's sliding the ball, he had to retire. That is aging. Can we extend human life? Can we push aging? We might. So we're going to see biotechnology with technology. And the next important thing that's going to happen as a horizontal is geopolitics. Look at the world today. One seamless network all around the world. The United States, $23 trillion of GDP. China is $20 trillion of GDP this year. Europe is aging. India is growing. And where is the technology? Where is the big dispute? It's about chips. Semiconductor chips, $600 billion market. Chips are the new oil. Because data, chip technology, the speed of processing, people who control the chip industry control the world. And the US is investing $56 billion, right? So geopolitics is going to change. Where is the global power today? Global power is with technology. Who has the power? Apple, 2.1 billion people on iOS. Android, 4.5 billion people, the amount of data. Cambridge Analytica worked with Facebook to interfere in elections, control your mind. They send you messages depending on what you want. You're going to see it and your behavior will change. So this kind of geopolitics is coming, and when you shut out the President of the United States on Twitter, the politicians are going to be scared. Because they'll say, if I'm shut out of Twitter, what will I do? How will I communicate? So we're going to have regulations. And we're going to have the geopolitical, networks. We're going to have the Quad. And the Quad will look at technology. So technology is going to be the big thing in geopolitics. And the next big thing is global finance. The world printed $25 trillion of currency. $25 trillion of currency because they needed money for the global financial crisis, and that 25 trillion is still sloshing around. It's buying assets, creating bubbles, creating inflation, and we don't know what is going to happen. When is it going to be absorbed? The money has to be absorbed. Where will the money go? Fixed income rates have come down. Pension ability has come down globally in the West. And the money has to be deployed. And you have to go to a place where you get superior returns. Where will the money go? And global finance is going to be determinant. And the next thing is going to be climate change. Climate change is big because everybody believes that we have spoiled the climate. Gandhiji said the world has enough for everybody's need, not everybody's greed. We are consuming 1.5 times the planet's ability to regenerate itself. So climate change is going to be a big, big political issue. All these are going to change the world, and these are the big trends. We need to understand them. What about India? In technology, India is well placed. Let me give you data. We have about, we have the IT service industry, which this year could export $195 to $200 billion, more than the oil exported by Saudi Arabia. 60% of global outsourcing comes here. 5.1 million people are employed. This year, we may hire 400 to 500,000 people, the largest tech hiring in the world. Last year, we hired 500,000 people in services, the largest hiring of a tech-educated workforce in the world. Largely engineers happen in India. Of the top 10 software service companies by market value, 5 are Indian. Of the top 5, 3 are Indian. Of the 3 million employees in the top 10, 2.1 million are Indians. Out of 6 million people in software in America, 1 million are Indians. Out of these 5.1 million people, 2.5 million work for American companies. Out of 9 million working for American companies, 3.5 million are Indians. That is the scale. And Bangalore is at the top of it. And like I said, on top of this software service industry, and like I said, the chip design industry, 300,000 people, embedded software, chip testing, chip design in India. Are we in the top 5% of innovation? No, but we are below that in engineering, right? On top of that, we have the startup industry. In India, every kid in every block thinks he's going to be a billionaire and a startup hero. Never happened before. Never happened before. 80% of the IIT batch don't want to go to the US. Can you believe it? They don't want to go to the US, go to sunny California, go on the beach, walk in New York. It may look small to you, but to people who have grown up in the last 25 years, it's big. Because 75-80% of the IITs went out to the US for various reasons. Now, of course, they become global CEOs. They may miss being global CEOs. We need to create those global companies in India. And India is now becoming on the top. So we have the service industry, 80,000 startups, $450 billion of value being created, $112 billion of capital coming in. We have 107 unicorns. The unicorn count in the world was 1,350, US 835, China 250, India 132, the rest of the world 125. So it's happening in these 3 countries. And if you look to the future, India is going to have the largest human capital in technology in the world, possibly by 2025. 2025. The traffic problem in Bangalore is going to get worse. We need products so that people can work in the car while going and with high-speed connectivity. And it's happening here. So India is going to do very well with capital coming in. And India is going to lead in innovation. And the India Stack created by Sanjay and his team of volunteers is the biggest category of digital public goods. India has given the world the digital public goods. Aadhaar, 1.3 billion people have a number. UPI, 7.3 billion transactions last month. $150 billion of money being transacted. Mobile, in 30 seconds you can transfer money. It doesn't happen anywhere in the world. No mobile wallet. Goes through the banking system. And the RBI has got a digital rupee. In a digital rupee, you can buy and sell government securities instantaneously. T+0 settlement. T+0. Intermediary is gone. Crypto has blown up because of Juvenile is doing many things, right? So crypto may not come, blockchain technology. So all this innovation in startups. Bangalore has 30,000 IT companies, 15,000 startups. Every gully in Bangalore seems to have a unicorn founder, Ramana. I think we got to get a list of them. I know the CM had a dinner with all of them recently, right? And I think that's great news. So innovation is happening, and this is going to be very big. So what are the future? What should India do in the future? Well, there are 3 things that are needed in the innovation system. Human capital. India has enough of human capital, but we only have 500 PhDs in computer science. We need 10,000 per year. 10,000 PhDs in computer science. So we need to invest at the top of the pyramid. We need our top 100 universities to come together, focus on innovation, focus on PhDs, focus on research. And the national education policy, we need that 50,000 crore fund for R&D to come, 10,000 crores a year. I hope all of you will write to Prime Minister Modi and say, we want this fund to come because we want R&D for India. So we have to invest in R&D. We have to spend more money in R&D, and we have to work in collaboration with Israel, with other countries which are leading to build this global ecosystem. So we have to do that in a very big way. And the second thing is, we have to make sure we improve the ease of life for everybody. You know, in the digital world, we love it. We can interact, we can do many things. The physical world, we're still behind the curve in Bangalore. We still have a traffic problem in Bangalore. But India is growing all over the place, and that is going to grow. The next thing we need is capital. We need more capital. Only 10% of the $112 billion invested in India came from Indian capital. We need Mumbai to come to Bangalore. We have to build bridges between Mumbai and Bangalore. We need Indian capital more. China invests $135 billion a year in startups. United States, 165, maybe more. The world invests about 500 billion. India, 42. Out of 42, Indian capital is only 4.2. We need all of you to invest much more money and fund innovation. We need the government of Karnataka to start a 1,000 crore fund every year to fund innovation and give the small checks to young people to create that innovation. So we need more capital. And next, we need to create institutions. We have the Art Park with Subhashish for AI. We need a technology center for 3D printing. We need the CCAM to grow up for genomics. And we need multiple institutions which are going to be the seeds where innovation is going to come, and they must talk to each other. And then we must create a collaborative network. Ramana, I suggest we create a collaborative network between Bangalore and Tel Aviv, Bangalore and SFO, Bangalore and Tokyo, Bangalore and Berlin, right? Because these are global hubs, and we must create city to cities. Karnataka and Israel is going to be difficult. India and Israel is going to be difficult because Delhi is a very strange country. In fact, when you go to Delhi, I was in Delhi 2 days back, it looked like a very different country to me. Because we are talking about something else, but here is all about technology. It's all about this excitement. So we have to create these networks, and we have to invest. And what does Karnataka and Bangalore have to do? India has to invest. India has to do that. Bangalore has to be the global leader of innovation. And to be the global leader of innovation, we must kick up R&D institutions. We must create networks. We must be the people working in different areas together to talk. We need global conferences in deep technology every quarter. Now, this BTS should morph into a continuous event till the next event that comes up, where we take stock of what has to be done. And we need more capital to come. We've been talking to the Chief Minister of Karnataka for the $1 trillion vision by 2032, that the money should go into technology, into innovation. We need bigger universities and R&D networks to come up here. We need 10 to 12 R&D networks to come together. We have to focus on innovation, create global networks, and that is the future. And in Karnataka, we have to go to smaller cities beyond Bangalore. Why beyond Bangalore? Because Bangalore is becoming expensive, right? We can't afford. We're not going to solve the traffic problem. Our metro will go to 250 kilometers by 4 years, but still it's going to be very difficult. So we need Hubli Dharwad to grow. We need Belgaum to grow. We need Mysore to go. We need the north to grow. And we have to have people there who do R&D, who work in IT, work in the BPO, etc., to create high-quality jobs. And if you create those high-quality jobs, that will create the technology resources here. So we have to relook at our strategy. And we have to create a strategy map for Karnataka and Bangalore for the next 5 years. And here's the good news. Who is going to make it happen? All of you. It's going to happen to all of you. Naran Murthy told me a very interesting story. There's a young boy called Dick Willington who heard that London's roads were paved with gold. So he went to London and met somebody. He walked around and met somebody and said, "Sir, I heard that London's roads are paved with gold. I'm not finding any." He said, "Young man, please remember, London's roads are not paved with gold. London doesn't even have roads, and you are going to do the paving." So it's okay for me to come and talk, but we have to get together, we have to find forums, and all of you are going to do that. So I want to end my talk by saying, we are entering the most exciting 10 years of human history, where speed is going to be rapid. Pokemon took 19 days to reach 50 million downloads. Arogya Setu took 13 days. The speed of change is enormous. The metaverse is there with young people. Things are changing in a way we don't understand. And this speed of change has to be captured. And we have to understand how this is going to impact geopolitics. Geopolitics is going to change dramatically as it changed 250 years ago. New centers of power will come up in the world. Technology is going to differentiate. We got to debate the role of human beings, humanoids, and technology. Who is going to control the world? Who is going to control the narrative for a brain? Who is going to control innovation? If you create something in biotechnology where human life can be expanded, will it be available to all the 8 billion people on the planet or only few people? How are you going to create a better world? How are we going to handle climate change? How are you going to handle the big issues that bind us together? And how are you going to foster innovation? We have to debate that. We have to understand that. Then come to Karnataka, how to make Karnataka grow, how to make Bangalore. But Bangalore has to lead. Bangalore has to be the force forward. Bangalore has to be the force multiplier for the whole world. And if we're able to do that, next year when we meet, we're going to have more excitement. Thank you very much. Any questions or finished?
Sorry, sir.
This is the time for questions?
No, sir.
Okay. So thank you very much, folks. Wish you all the best and have fun.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your thoughts with us this morning. Sir, just a moment, please. Sir, just a moment. I request Dr. E.V. Ramana Reddy, Additional Chief Secretary, Department of IT, BT, Electronics and Science and Technology, to kindly honor Shri Mohandas Pai. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as we present a token of our gratitude and appreciation to India's iconic leader, Shri Mohandas Pai.
Thank you. 25 years back.
Thank you once again, sir.